We were the first division to be returned to the U.S. Because we were the last to get there, we were the first to go back, and we were to be the first to be transferred on into the Pacific. On July 30th, we embarked for New York. On August 1st, the first A-bomb was dropped, and 4 days out of New York, on August 9th, the second bomb was dropped. We were the first troop ship to enter New York Harbor after the A-bombs were dropped. But our reception in the harbor, New York Harbor, was unbelievable. There were thousands of boats, large and small, that greeted us. Fireboats were squirting water, and as we were going on our way up the Hudson River. I was discharged on February 2nd, 1946, and I was enrolled at the University of Michigan on February 6th.
After the Army, Todd, like so many other returning GIs, was eager to get on with his life. He received a degree in geology, met and married Nancy McKay, and went into the oil exploration business. He drilled dry holes in Kentucky and Montana for a decade, and in 1964 took a gamble and moved to Indonesia, where a few years later he struck it big. The area, to date, has now produced over 3.5 billion barrels. He and Nancy now have 5 children and 12 grandchildren, none of whom have had to go to war. I know Todd as Grandpa. I am his oldest grandchild. When I was 10, I discovered the photographs used in this project tucked away in the back shelf of his wine cellar. I was entranced by the images. Could this young warrior with his grinning friends really be the Grandpa I know now? As young boys are apt to do, I asked question after question, and little by little, the stories and memories began to surface. His children had gleaned the basics of his war experience over the years, but he rarely talked about it. My aunts and uncles were shocked and surprised at the stories I related about their own father. In 1996, when I was 15, we returned to Italy and the battlefields of his youth. We climbed Mount Belvedere, where he had seen his first action. At the top of the mountain, we hunted around and found the overgrown depression that had been his foxhole. Later, we walked through a picturesque green valley with a little farmhouse at the end. He suddenly stopped. This must have been where Ted got it, he said. In the years since, I have become a photographer. These photographs first showed me the power and magic in images. I was hooked, just as he had been a half-century earlier.
His photographs and accompanying memories augment the work of the professional war photographers, from whom the visual history of World War II comes almost exclusively. Grump was not a journalist, simply a citizen soldier who, in addition to his rifle, packed a camera. During the action, Grumpa was soldiering. He fired his mortar, not his camera. His images capture the quiet moments of training and life on the front line. Written memoirs from the time, and even from other members of the mountain troops, are common. However, a personal, visual history is truly unique.